Okay. Yeah, this is the first time I'm about to do this. Honestly. Okay. So, let's try to keep this run on tangents. Should I put a lav? I'm not sure, honestly. I'll just start talking. Although the audio might change along the way, that's besides the point. The reason why I'm doing this video is, honestly, if I'm gonna be completely frank, I have a boatload of videos in the archive, or should I say in the vault, that I have never put out yet. And the problem with me at the moment is I keep finding myself in this cyclical process of inaction due to the fact that I am currently in survival mode. For several different reasons. There are many areas in my life where I have under control, but there are equally proportionate number of things that I have been struggling to get a firm grasp on. And I know I'm not the only one suffering this way. Let me try to plug the lab on. Hello? Okay, there you go. I do hope I'm in focus, or I'm in frame. Let's try to tilt this up just in case for safety. Yeah, okay. So, right now I'm situated at the corner of the building of our unit, where there is an adjacent building across ours on this, I think, west-facing window. When we first moved in here, I've always, like, the euphoria of moving out of your parents' place and then finally having a place of your own with your partner is somewhat of a euphoric experience. And, you know, as time passes by, we've almost been here for 2 years now, and I've gone through my own, I guess, I've gone through my own fair share of different things in my life that I have struggled with, both the triumphs and the losses and the ebbs and the flows. The reason why I'm sharing that little anecdote about situating myself here for a change, where I'm recording a video of me while the curtains are drawn. You know, drawn is when they're closed, right? Well, basically I open the window, you know, draw the curtains back, and I've always been, I guess, reluctant to do that whenever I'm here. Actually, these blinds, and you don't have to see them, when we moved in here, it was bare. Like, literally, no blinds, no curtains, and it was just bare. But because we were in a different place, mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, and spiritually, and all these different areas in our life, well, at least I want to speak for myself and not for Moira, my partner. When we moved in here, it was a flurry. It was almost like, it felt like we were in a hotel, if that makes any sense. Like, imagine, let me paint the picture. So we moved out, like, I think I was 25. I just turned 26, and we had, I guess, safe to say, we had too much money that we didn't know to do with it. But it wasn't to the point where it was like Richie Rich or anything like that. But it was I haven't been predisposed to a disposition like that before, and I wasn't always the best with numbers and money and handling it and being responsible with it. So it was a different ordeal to deal with. And the reason why I'm alluding to this is because I can't help but feel a different state of mind and perspective. Now I'm here doing this video and situating myself into this window, or in front of this window, even if it's something that made me conscious before. But now that I'm doing it, I'm starting to think that, why was that stopping me in the first place? A lot of things that have been stopping me, like I'm not kidding when I say I have so many videos like these that I've been recording for the past month, let's say. But it's not really true. I've not just been recording for the past month. I've been doing this for about a year since I've been here, like more so actively, but I haven't posted anything. To be honest, I feel overwhelmed by the different areas that I'm not only passionate about, that I think I see a future or a disposition that I see myself that takes the form of somewhat something that is, I guess, productive or lucrative or something that has potential. I'm very passionate about image creation or image manipulation, video, and creating stories through images and sound. I'm also passionate about music. I'm also passionate about athletics and sports. I'm also passionate about literature and the word and text. I'm passionate about poetry. I'm passionate about, with images as well, it's not only pixels, but I'm also like really enthused. These are more hobbies. So right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to paint two things, just to get this clear. I'm learning how to organize myself and orient myself towards becoming more, I guess, objective with how I express my thoughts, rather than just rambling on and on and on for the sake of recording a video and then rewatching it and finding it's not usable. Because I place too much pressure on myself, high standards. Like, I'm a post-production editor and sound designer. Well, I'm not an editor. I'm a post-production specialist. My specialization is post-production. I'm a creative specialist. Specifically speaking, I'm a post-production editor and a sound designer by trade. That's my day job. And inherently, with this line of work, I find myself to have grown over the years into somewhat of a perfectionist. And a lot of that stems from, I guess, I don't know where it comes from, to be honest. But lately, as I've been, going through my own process of self-reflection, and I've grown older since then, I've noticed I'm learning how to become more practical and more, I guess, focused on things that allow me to just be, allow me to grow into somebody that, I guess, knows what to do, when to do it, and to be less conscious of what the fuck other people think of me when they see me doing what I like doing. I think a lot of that stems from my own childhood, where I did a lot of things for the sake of spectatorship. And I avoided things out of spectatorship as well. And now that I'm older, I think I owe it to myself to just allow myself to really be. And I think a lot of my struggles and my pain comes from that. So, I know it seems like a minor thing, like I'm shooting myself with a video camera right beside the window that I constantly avoided in the past, but it's something that's pretty big for me, And there are potentially people looking at me right now. There are some people who are probably just minding their own business, doing their own thing. Some people work from home. Some people are probably peering out from their windows. I'm at the 32nd floor of this building, and the adjacent building goes up to the 38th. So I don't know. There's I don't know why. But yeah, I'm just painting my thought process and a lot of the things that hinder me. And I'm trying to take an active course of action to stop that from hindering me. So those are my aspirations. Those are the things that I'm really passionate about, and I want to try to find a way to share on this platform. I'm not trying to share my expertise, because I don't want to be that type of person. I want to have an outlet where I can express myself and discover what I want to do here on this platform. And I know I can do that. I just don't know why I don't do it. Maybe I'm afraid of scrutiny. Maybe I'm afraid of, my high school teacher finding out about what I am doing today. And I know for certain that I'm not the only one who feels these types of things. But I can't help but feel somewhat compelled to feel the things that I'm feeling. I guess, I don't live a perfect life, I've made a lot of mistakes in my past, on several different domains and areas of one's life that you can imagine. And the laundry list goes on. And I'm still making mistakes, and I'm still learning from those mistakes. But I'm tired of feigning perfection in order for me to project this idea of who I am. With this, I think it also struggles with me with the type of artist that I want to build. Like, I make music, I'm a musician, and a lot of it conflicts, I guess you could say that. There's a facet of me who's a filmmaker and a storyteller. There's a facet of me who's a musician and an artist. There's a facet of me who likes to learn about finance and business and stuff like that. Or I'm more of a dilettante, to be honest. I wouldn't say I'm someone who's savvy. I'm just learning, you know. Another aspect of that is someone who really likes literature and reading and writing. Someone who likes to paint. Like, you ever feel that when you have so many interests, so many domains of interests and passions and areas you want to explore and get better at constantly? So I was reading this book, right, by Josh Kaufman. It's funny because it's actually, in my language, it's called Tokayo. Pag Tokayo mo, is sorry, the dominant language I try to speak on this channel is English, but for the sake is, in my language, in Filipino, is we call it Tokayo. Tokayo means when you have the same name as somebody, that's what it's called. Oy, Tokayo kita. It's like, oy, you're my Tokayo, right? And I took an inclination, or I resonated towards that inclination that I've read Josh Kaufman's book, which is, he's the prolific author of the best-selling book Personal MBA. And I found out about this book called The First 20 Hours, right? And I've struggled a lot with skill acquisition, to be honest. I've had a lot of different systems. I tried them all, honestly, and I found something that works. And I've just been keeping it on a down low rather than just like, you know, waving my hands, jumping up in the air, hey guys, look at me and all that. Because I used to be like that. And now that I'm older, I just try to focus on what works for me and focus on the process of improvement rather than just doing all these fancy little things that look nice on paper and in this frame, but I never really end up sustaining it long enough for it to become either a habit or part of my identity. And that latter aspect is one of my focuses right now. And moving forward with that, skill acquisition, yeah, and habit acquisition, habit forming. These are the things I've been struggling with for the longest time. Hold on, let me increase the light because I know it's getting dark. It's getting pretty dark out. Yeah. Where am I? Hold on, let me see if it's still bright enough. Can you still see me? Don't know if you can. There you go. Let's up the aperture a little bit. Yeah. There you go. Forgive me if I'm out of focus, honestly. I'm still like, I have a lot of aspirations, you know. One of them is upgrading to a different camera. And hopefully, you know, I'm also, by the way, I'm filmmaking, right? I don't know if I mentioned that. But I'm also enthused about tech. I've always been enthused about tech, especially with cameras and stuff like that, recording equipment. But, you know, as you know, these things are expensive, so you can't always get the best and all the things you want at the same time. You know, I wanna start and just go down on this journey. And I think one of the things that has been stopping me is this thing that I've come to terms with recently called addictions. And I have a lot of addictions. Maybe I'm addicted to a lot of different things. One of them would be, let's say for this, what's stopping me from creating videos and posting them on YouTube and sharing my story and documenting my life? I may be addicted to this narrative that, you know, or maybe I'm addicted to avoiding scrutiny and just trying to stay away from the public eye. And there's nothing wrong with that inherently, but it also comes at a cost when the things that I aspire to do and become prolific at, essentially, like, that's the price I have to pay. So I guess the comfort that I take from that is maybe just learning how to express the thoughts and ideas that I want to express in a way that feels resonant and true to myself. Shit, hold on. It's 6 o'clock. But yeah, it feels resonant with me, and I guess that ties back into the idea of like me being a perfectionist, and I want everything solved in like the format like down pat from the very beginning, which is impossible. And I think it comes from the fact that I do this for a living, I do this for other people, and it's easy for other people because there's not really an emotional investment. But when you're doing it for yourself and you're putting yourself out there, and it's your brand that you're building, it's a lot different. And I'm trying my best to be as honest as possible with this. I'm trying to separate this from the music, honestly, because music is something that I really want to do, and I honestly have delusions towards that. I think that I can make it, so I'll just keep that on the void of this platform. This platform that I have so many alarms. Yeah, that's a little bit about me. And yeah, speaking about addictions, I want to talk about that today. Some of my addictions are I've been battling a lot lately. It's a lot harder to go through the process of getting to know yourself, being still, being mindful of who you are growing into and who you are at the moment without even like saying, oh, I'm a different person, all this. When the smoke in the mirrors clears out, I started realizing who I am when I had less money, I guess, from last year. This year wasn't positive, in a sense, on the balance sheet compared to last year. My finances took a hit, and there's something that I could learn a lot from this experience and from this time. And I know I did, and I have. But the thing that I do want to share is, like, the reason why I say that is because there's a peculiar occurrence that happens when you can no longer distract yourself from the process of purchasing your way through distracting yourself from the void that lives within deep inside of you that you otherwise would not have been able to identify or get acquainted with because you're constantly distracting yourself by virtue of stimulus. That's it, by virtue of stimulus. And I was doing that, exactly that. Like I wasn't a drunkard, I used to drink a lot before. Like I used to party a lot, do the other stuff, but I don't anymore. I try to have fun from time to time, like once in a blue moon when the occasion presents itself, or when I guess like the occurrence warrants itself. But, I rarely do that right now because I'm in a season where I'm just trying to focus on building myself and my career. I'm sorry, the light turned off. It's low bat. But yeah, let's try to just shift so that the light here is more prominent. What I'm trying to say is, let's max out the aperture. There you go. And then, my bad. I'm learning. I don't know how to. Okay. Okay. Little practical light. Just a little practical light at the back. So, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, my addictions with spending, like frivolous spending, my addictions with, I'll just identify them, okay? And then we'll talk about them, just ramble through them. My biggest addictions for like the longest time have been nicotine. So I recently just quit and kicked the habit again for like the nth time. But there are different stories to why I relapsed. First with cigarettes, and then I kicked cigarettes about like 4 or 5 years ago, and then I transferred to vaping, I think 2021, and then it's been a flurry. Like it was a lot harder to kick, honestly, than cigarettes. And then I recently just stopped again, but I'm not looking at stopping anymore. I'm just trying to detach from that part of my identity and just to build a new identity. Apart from that is my addiction to pornography. Yeah, it's a little sensitive issue, and I can't like, I won't beat around the bush. It's something that I'm not proud of and I'm ashamed of. But I think moving forward towards these things is, I guess, acceptance and learning to have courage in the midst of that darkness. It's hard, it's hard, like whenever things are stale meaning not my relationship is fine. It's more of just like whenever, like sometimes I work the day and when my girlfriend's asleep and I get super bored and my computer is bugging and it's like it's super slow and it gets really stressful. Like a lot of the habits and the activities or the habits and systems that the addictions that I subject myself to, or one person subjects themselves to. Anything that we do is an occurrence or an activity that, I guess I'm paraphrasing here, that basically serves the purpose of changing or altering our current state. And it's that, I think it was just that. Whenever I felt stressed, I wanted to do it, which is stupid. But it's also a lot more common than I realized, because I realized that I'm not alone in that. So lately, I've just been substituting that with just deep breathing, sitting down and deep breathing, meditating again a lot more. Because I used to be big on it, really big on it. Prior to the pandemic, around 2018, I was struggling with school. I was in film school at the time, and I was going through my bouts with depression and anxiety and PTSD. But the reason why that happened is for another video. But yeah. Apart from nicotine and pornography, is frivolous spending and learning how to budget, learning how to not eat so much. Because a lot of the times I was just eating because I was bored, essentially, and it was getting boring because the fact that I didn't know what I was doing most of the time, because I realized that I was just eating because I had nothing else to do, and when you have nothing else to do and you're eating for the sole reason of that, that's when things get complicated. I gained weight, I lost weight a lot of the times throughout the years, but I realized that self-control is something that I'm learning to channel throughout this process of working through my addictions. And it's so fucking hard, honestly. When my dopamine spikes, it's good, and when I feel elated, and but I'm still battling through a lot of these things. I'm still working through getting my W's and ending this year strong. But I'm fighting, and I'm going to continue through this process and working towards just changing who I am and becoming someone rather than attaining something. My dreams are still alive, and the fire is very much still alive, and this is one way of me doing that. I don't want to make any empty promises and any blanket statements about what I'm going through or anything, but I just really want to share where I'm at. Maybe I can dive through this in the next videos. I'm going strong. I've been working out a lot. I've been running more. I've been just substituting bad habits with good habits. It's a painstaking process, honestly, because all you want to do is do the negative thing, because the negative thing is a lot easier, it's more comfortable, and it allows you to just be, and dissolve into what's easy and comfortable. And yeah, basically, you engulf yourself in comfort, and I don't want to be that type of person, because I know I won't grow there. Despite the pain, despite the uncertainty, I'm gonna travel down this path and see what lies on the other side, and hopefully good things, and hopefully I get to connect with people that feel the same way, they're going through the same process. And if you feel like you struggle, hopefully you can share what's worked for you, what your story is, and yeah, I just really want to start doing this. Have my goal is to have an outlet to just express myself, my thoughts and my ideas, the things that I love doing maybe in the future. Since this is my line of work, I won't be a problem finding the format of how I want to execute. Is more just finding the courage to put myself out there, and yeah, that is one thing I'm working towards. But yeah, it feels good. I feel renewed, honestly, that I did this way. It's a small thing again, but yeah, just to paint the picture, this is the window. This is the actual window, right? So yeah, I opened it, and the windows go across all the way over there. But yeah, it's pretty dark out. It's already 6 p.m. I've been recording this video for a while, so I might go back and end this video short. I appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, I don't really have any big expectations, but I appreciate it. Trying to keep it honest, trying to keep it real. No fancy editing, no BS, right? Yeah, we'll figure it out. Everything out. Yeah. Cheers to battling inaction, right? Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.